Illinois State Board of Elections was a hopping place yesterday, as you have more than 400 candidates that turned in their petitions to get on the March primary ballot. And it's just Republicans and Democrats. Who are the candidates, and what are we going to see as some of the major issues as they turn in tens of thousands of signatures? I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of pages that State Board of Elections officials had to count up and make sure we're bound correctly. And after a week of filing, we're going to see potential challenges to all kinds of petitions. So interesting stuff as we had a lot of opportunity to talk to candidates. But I'm Greg Bishop, editor of the Center Square, Illinois. You can wake up with us each and every weekday morning for Illinois in Focus Daily. So yesterday was at the Illinois State Board of Elections. Long line, people there bright and early, way before the sun came up. Candidates who were in line right at 8 o'clock were able to secure their position on the ballot as top of the March primary ballot. But of course, they have to survive any possible challenges. One candidate was not there, but their running mate was, and that's the campaign of Darren Bailey and Aaron Delmar. And of course, last week, the tragic story of Bailey's son, Zach, his daughter-in-law, and 2 of 3 grandchildren being killed in a helicopter crash. And just a heartbreaking story. And everybody feels it. And across the political spectrum, you can see the shock in people's eyes when they heard it. And just devastating. Well, Aaron Delmar was there for the Bailey campaign, and he stopped and talked with us briefly before filing their signatures to get on the ballot. And of course, people are asking, what does this mean for the Bailey campaign? Are they going to continue? Here is Aaron Delmar, followed up by Governor J.B. Pritzker, who showed up at the State Board of Elections and spoke with Delmar in the parking lot. And you'll see a little clip from afar from that, but also Pritzker sharing with us some of what he had to share with Aaron Delmar in that conversation.
Today is a lot more solemn. Unfortunately, Darren can't be here, but I'll be standing in for the campaign. We are incredibly proud that we are submitting over 12,000 signatures that were circulated by 3,000 individual volunteers that went all throughout the state of Illinois to get us on the ballot. And then we're going to submit, and then we're going to be thinking about it. We're going to be praying about our decision. Darren and I are going to have some strong conversations, but right now we're not talking about anything. We probably won't talk till the end of next week. We're going to be having the services this upcoming weekend. All we're concentrating on now is offering comfort for the Bailey family, getting all of the members of the family back to Illinois, and then honoring them this weekend at the Celebration of Life for Zach and his family. Our supporters are really with us. They're supportive if we run. They're supportive if we don't run. Everybody understands. It's been a very trying time for the Bailey family, for the campaign itself. But we are so touched by everyone that's reached out via text message, via social media, by instant message. All of that, as well as leaning into our faith, has given some comfort in this incredible time of tragedy.
And you can see here Pritzker talking with Delmar in the parking lot.
Yeah, we were just talking about the terrible loss that the Baileys have suffered. He thanked me for the words that I had for the Baileys, and we just talked, I think, one father to another about what they must be going through. Well, I mean, I cannot imagine what they're going through, and I know that the funeral is coming up, and I think it's, of course, appropriate for all of them to maybe take some time. And I think the kinds of things that people go through when they lose family members, and particularly when you lose a son, daughter-in-law, and grandchildren, I only know that it's going to take time. Grief is difficult to get past.
Now, Delmar, when we chatted with him, I asked about what some of the issues may be moving forward here in the campaign. And again, he stuck to their simply just focused on the Bailey family.
To be honest with you right now, I'm just concentrating on the Bailey family. I'd be happy to answer any of the political questions after the funeral, but we're suspending everything. So unfortunately, I'm not going to answer any questions about anything outside of the Bailey family and all the supporters that we have across the U.S.
And again, totally understandable. And the story has not just traveled across the state of Illinois and across the country, but around the world. And condolences to the Bailey family continue to pour out. And Delmar did say that he has a message for supporters.
I would just like to thank thank everybody that's at home, that has reached out to our family, that has been touched by the Bailey family in any way, that has sent text messages, instant messages, posted on Facebook, has called the family. All of that has touched our hearts and has been incredibly helpful in this really hard time of need, and we appreciate everyone that came out and has been doing that. It means a lot to us.
And we'll hear more from the Bailey campaign in the future. But Bailey obviously was the candidate in 2022 as a Republican against Governor J.B. Pritzker. He's looking to get on the ballot against Pritzker in November, but he's got to get through a primary. And there are other Republican candidates that filed yesterday for governor, including DuPage County Sheriff Jim Mendrick. However, we did talk with Ted Dabrowski, who also filed as a Republican, and he said it was an important day for his campaign.
This is a very, very big day for us. We're turning in our petitions and getting started, looking for change in Illinois. First, we have to acknowledge the tragedy for the Bailey family. It's unimaginable. Good to see that they're here, and our prayers are with them. I think the first thing you have to do is have transparency. We're spending $16 billion more today than we were spending when Pritzker took office. $16 billion is 40% more, and the state government is still out of money. We need to really expose where all that money is. I think that's point number one. Day number one is immediately create a department that exposes where all the money is going, because nobody seems to understand it. You got Chicago public schools in billion-dollar debts. You got Chicago, the city, with massive debts. You got CTA and RTA with massive debts. The state, it's beyond understanding. We need to expose where all the money's going, and so that's what Illinoisans deserve. They need to know where their money's going and how we cut it back.
Now, Dabrowski, obviously, with formerly of WirePoints and formerly of Illinois Policy Institute, somebody who analyzes the economic trends, who analyzes the education trends, knows the facts and figures, pension issues, the operations of state governments, and the flood of money and where it's going. Dabrowski, obviously will be interesting to see on a debate stage, not just with other Republicans, but with Governor J.B. Pritzker and how that may play out. But he's confident that Illinoisans are ready for change.
Well, I think we've seen in the last election, there's a look for change. You've seen Hispanics looking for change. The blacks feel disenfranchised by Pritzker's policies. I think many parents feel their rights are being taken away by Governor Pritzker's extreme cultural policies. So I think there's a huge opportunity. People are looking for change, and they want it. We just have to go out there and make our case.
Now, Dabrowski obviously has to get through a primary as well. Several candidates for the Republicans. The primary's March 17th. Governor J.B. Pritzker was the only Democrat to file for the March primary, at least when I checked mid-afternoon yesterday. But he had to answer questions. I asked him as I was right in front of him with a microphone. You could see the picture I was able to get from my vantage point at the centersquare.com, where you could see the picture of Pritzker and his running mate, Christian Mitchell. I'm on the ground looking up. So I had to ask him, can you commit to serving out the entire 4 years of a third term? Because there's speculation that he's possibly going to announce that he's wanting to run for the White House in 2028, which would be 2 years into the next term if he was to win another term for governor. So is the governor going to commit to serving all 4 years of a third gubernatorial term?
What I can commit to you is that I'm going to work very hard every single day that I'm in office for the people of Illinois, and every decision that I make is really about what's best for the people of Illinois.
So the governor talking about how he's committing to what he thinks is going to be best for Illinoisans. Didn't say I commit to serving 4 years as governor if I get a third term. You also had a whole host of other people file. I mean, everything from Illinois comptroller. Democrats have an interesting primary shaping up there. We'll hear more about that in the future. You've got, the issue of state house seats and state senate seats and judge seats and congressional seats. State House Minority Leader Tony McCombie said that Republicans are ready to go at it for the November election with a full slate of candidates in various offices.
Well, we are going to be filing over 40 candidates today, over 50,000 signatures that have been collected just like everybody else, a lot of door knocking over 10,000 doors, being at every event and festival that we can be. So,
and we'll see how that plays out. She also talked about some of the issues she's hearing from voters going door to door that she says Republicans are leading on.
Well, it's certainly about the economy. You can see right now, even on the national level, that Republicans are polling better on the economy, certainly on immigration. And these are the things that we're actually hearing in Illinois at the doors here, those two same things. So we will win on those issues.
Democratic State Senator Robert Peters, who's vying for a seat in the U.S. Congress out of Chicago, he talked about what he thinks are some of the issues going into the election cycle.
Yeah, I mean, healthcare is a top priority, both in terms of the fact that people are at risk of losing their Medicaid coverage and at risk of seeing massive increase when it comes to their premiums. On top of that, 40 to 50,000 people could lose those SNAP benefits. So they're struggling both with hunger insecurity in terms of their benefits, as well as insecurity because they live in areas that are food deserts. And then, of course, people are just struggling to get by. And so they're literally, it's one of the most working class districts in the state. It's city, it's suburban, it's rural. It's got 4,300 plus farmers who are right now impacted by tariffs and just trying to get by. And so people in the district, in every corner of the district, are struggling, and they want to know they have people in Congress who are focused on them and not on themselves, right? Focused on the working people in need.
How is this going to go? Well, if you wake up with us each and every weekday morning, we'll keep you plugged in here with Illinois in Focus Daily. Get the newsletter in your inbox. Go to thecentersquare.com. Got to point out somebody in the live chat, which if you join us live each and every weekday morning, you can hop into the live chat. We go live at about 8 o'clock Central Time each and every weekday morning, so you can join the group there. But somebody pointed out that the plaza where the Illinois State Board of Elections is at, it used to be thriving back in the day, but not so much anymore in Springfield off of MacArthur Boulevard. And literally right down from State Board of Elections, and I always find this funny. I don't know why. Minor editorial comment here. It's just, it's there's a Chuck E. Cheese right next to the State Board of Elections. I don't know why that's funny, but it is to me every time I show up there. All right, much more to come each and every weekday morning here with Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Be sure to get the newsletter in your inbox with us here at thecentersquare.com.